Good morning, beloveds. If this title does not get your attention, nothing will. I also have Foster with me this morning, and I did get to go to the park, which is one of the reasons why I'm running so late. And I think I got a couple of the best pictures before we even started. Because when we got out of the car, there were a couple of squirrels right there in the tree that we parked by, and they were like, "Hello, we would like peanuts." So we got some good ones. And then the last one of the last interactions we had was we were walking past, it's literally the mile marker, and there's a short tree, it's a little taller than me because it's a young one. And a blue jay flew into the top of that tree and just absolutely screamed at us. And it was just one blue jay, because at one point we had gotten swarmed, and screamed at us and demanded. Then Tom threw, I think, 2 or 3 peanuts. And she watched them all, and then she picked the one she wanted, and she flew off. It was great. So I'm hoping I haven't looked at all of those yet, but I'm hoping I got a good picture of her at the top of that tree. So, what are you doing back there? Get in the window? All right, so it is August 13th. Our title is, I Know the Place Where Hell Is. The first quote is, "And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free." And that is John 8:32. Come here. And then, hell is the phantom abode of our morbid imaginations. Heaven and hell are states of consciousness. And that is page 124. The science of mind teaches that there is no physical place called hell, and that may well be true. But you and I know that there is a place called hell within our own minds. This is the place where the pain never stops, where worry, anguish, resentments, and torments of every stripe reside in our thoughts and feelings, and savage us on every side. With such a creative insidiousness in our mental state, the reality of a physical hell seems somehow unimportant. But if we come to know our God natures, and let the cleansing air of wholeness, forgiveness, and love blow through our thoughts, we might find ourselves in heaven after all. And it would all take place within us. Our personal worlds are constructed after our thought patterns. These patterns manifest as palpable circumstances that guide our lives. We create our own hells and heavens and wonder if we really know how much power lies within our minds, how much heaven we could realize if we but accepted the God power within us as ours to use. Infinite mind inspires me. Infinite power expresses through me. Infinite love heals me and presents me as a true spiritual being. God is revealed through me as wholeness, goodness, and peace. My thoughts are cleansed of any perceptions which are not true of my divine nature, and I live a life of deep joy and complete spiritual awareness. I am deeply thankful for my life and creative expression. Not a minute is regretful for me. And if you can't guess, that's Margaret Stortz. Her writings tend to be a little on the smaller side. They don't take up the whole page, but she has a way of getting to the point. She has a way of getting to the point. And that's what we talk about. We talk about a lot that heaven and hell are literally states of consciousness. Whether they are real places or not, in the long run, doesn't matter while you're here. Okay? We are here for a purpose. We are here to learn. We are here to experience. We are here to love. We are here to be the answers to each other's prayers. And I think is it Albert Camus who said hell is other people? So, there's an aspect of that. When we know who we are, then we create heaven around us. We create a safe space for people to come into. When we are, and I'm going to use the word, when we're being hellish, then when we're living in hell, then we can create hell around us, and then other people can interact with us, and they can have a hell of an experience, and not in a good way. So it does behoove us. It's like, I see the quote, and I forget who said it. It's like, always be kind. You never know what battles other people are fighting. And that's the truth. You don't know what's going on in other people's lives. And so if you can be kind, then be kind. And as the Dalai Lama says, if you can't help them, at least don't hurt them. And so that's the point of daily spiritual practice. That's the point of getting in touch with the source of your own being. That's the point of knowing your spiritual nature. And it's not that we're not going to have bad days, because in this material world, it's going to happen. It doesn't have to, but it does, because we're in relationship with other living beings. And it shows. A couple of weeks ago, I did one of these readings on Thursday, and I had nothing. And I had nothing because I had let my 17-year-old cat go the day before. And I just didn't have anything. And that, one, I don't have the cat anymore, but two, the cat is no longer in pain. So it's like, and I just wasn't feeling it that morning. And so, that's where your state of mind is. And so it took a couple of days to take that deep breath, and it still resonates through the household. We still do first breakfast and dinner, but now first breakfast is just breakfast, because there's no second breakfast, because the second breakfast was all about giving medication to that cat. And so at 8:30 in the morning, life's a little different. And so that's where, we can be kind to each other, because our bodies remember things. Like, bodies have anniversaries. July will always, July, around the beginning of July, 3 years ago, I let a cat go. And so it's like July comes, and I may not remember why, but my body knows. And so that's when it's up to me to be a little kinder to myself. Because if I'm a little kinder to myself when I'm going through stuff like that, then I can be kinder to other people, even while I may be, and I'm going to use the quote, suffering. If I'm gentle with myself when I'm suffering, then I can be gentle with other people. I'm not inflicting my suffering on other people. So that when I come out of whatever it is that I'm dealing with, then I can go back to creating my heaven, The interesting thing about growing up Catholic is we have heaven, hell, and the purgatory. So it's like sometimes I'm in purgatory, I'm between the heaven and hell state. I try and stay out of that state as much as possible. But purgatory happens, and when you feel either way, be it that if you feel like you kind of get caught in that hellish consciousness, or you're caught in kind of that purgatory consciousness, that's a signal to you to be kinder to yourself, gentler to yourself, more compassionate with yourself, more loving with yourself. You need a little extra. And when you meet people who are in that hellish consciousness or in that purgatory state, then be kind. You don't know what they're going through. And when you're both in the heaven state, well, then everybody's in heaven, and that's great. Because it's a state of mind. And again, going back to the point of spiritual practice, the less we can visit hell, the more often we can visit heaven, and that is about knowing who we are. So, whether they're real places or not, in this lifetime, it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter, because it's about you. And taking care of yourself and getting to know the source of your own being, and being kind to yourself, gentle with yourself, and then you can be kind and gentle with other people. So I always really appreciate Margaret Stortz. And that's one of those things about that quote from John: "Ye shall know the truth, and truth shall make you free." If you know that hell's a state of mind, and you know your mind, then you can do something about it. And that's, I'm going to have to go look this quote up because I don't remember this one. Hell is a phantom abode of our morbid imaginations. And let me remind you what Albert Einstein says about imagination. Worry is a misuse of imagination. Imagination can take you anywhere. It can definitely take you to hell, but it can also take you to heaven. So hell is the phantom abode of our morbid imaginations. Heaven and hell are states of consciousness. It is right there in black and white on page 124 of the Science of Mind text. So, and she couches it. She says, Science of Mind teaches that there is no physical place called hell, and that may well be true. We don't know. We don't know. But in this material life, it doesn't matter. What matters is that we take care of ourselves now by being loving and kind and compassionate with ourselves, being gentle with ourselves and with other people. We don't know the battles they're fighting. The least we can do is not add to them. As the Dalai Lama says, if you can't help them, don't hurt them. At least don't hurt them. So, and she it's very explicit the way she describes it. But you and I know that there's a place called hell within our own minds. This is a place where the pain never stops, where worry, anguish, resentments, and torments of every stripe reside in our thoughts and feelings and savage us on every side. That is why healing work and forgiveness work are so important. And I will tell you, every time that we talk about healing work, you can, not forgiveness work, you can forgive somebody in your own mind. You don't ever have to forgive them in person. They don't ever have to know that you have forgiven them. That doesn't matter. Because the feeling, the forgiveness, you forgiving them, what is it that they say about resentment? It's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die, holding a hot coal and expecting the other person to be burned. So the forgiveness work you do within yourself. Now, if they seek forgiveness and you choose to grant it, that's up to you. But you have to forgive within your own mind so that you can, that's one less torment that can come at you. Yeah, as she says, with such creative insidiousness in our own mental state, the reality of the physical hell seems somehow unimportant. All right, but then she has the solution for us. But if we come to know our God natures and let the cleansing air of wholeness, forgiveness, and love, and there it is. You want to get out of hell? That's what you need: wholeness, forgiveness, and love. To blow through our thoughts, we might find ourselves in heaven after all. And it all takes place within us. It's all an internal game. So our personal worlds are constructed after our thought patterns. And that's one of the reasons why I say it's not each individual thought you have to worry about. It's not each individual weed you have to worry about. You want to worry about the trend of them. So you see one weed, don't worry. You see two weeds, don't worry. You start to see a lot of weeds, you got some work to do. These patterns manifest as palpable circumstances that guide our lives. Thoughts are things, people. Thoughts are things. We create our own heavens and our own hells. I wonder if we really know how much power lies within our minds. How much heaven we could realize if we but accepted the God power within us as our excuse. And that treatment is fantastic. I commend to you any treatment or affirmation written by MS in this book. They're all fantastic. But I'm going to tell you, the mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to realize and accept the God power within us. Because that is how we create a world that works for everyone. That is how we create a world that works for us. If we want to create a world that works for everyone, where do we start? We start with ourselves. We start by recognizing that we are spirit having an experience as us, that we are part of a greater whole, that we live in a community, we live in relationship. And the more we keep heaven around us, it has a way of spreading. You'll meet people and people will come to you and they will go, what do you know that I don't know? Well, I know who I am. I know that I'm a beloved child of God. And here's the secret. I know that you're a beloved child of God too. And we go from there. So that's the mission today, to recognize, to realize, and accept the God power within us. and start to work on that consciousness, that heaven consciousness, and let go of the hell consciousness, because it doesn't serve us or anybody else. So that is the mission today. And I will also, as I always do, suggest the spiritual practice of doing something loving for yourself, doing something kind for yourself, doing something compassionate for yourself, whatever that looks like. Big, small, does not matter. Mine is, I'm finally going to go get that. I thought I'd cracked a tooth. I didn't crack a tooth. I lost a filling. And I lost it at the beginning of COVID. Fortunately, it was in a place where not only did it not hurt, it encouraged me to floss my teeth more. So I'm finally going to get that taken care of today. So that is my loving, kind, and compassionate things. And that's what they look like. You know, when I say loving, kind, compassionate, it can run the gamut from basic self-care to gourmet meals, to taking a day off. It is one about self-care, but two, it's about reminding you to enjoy life, to really make sure that you are living fully, presently here, but enjoying life. You may have seen his head earlier, but Foster's sitting down beside me, and it's not as soft as Hayes's, because Hayes definitely had that cotton cloudy silk, but Foster is incredibly soft. And so it's like, let me enjoy that feeling in my hand. Let me enjoy the purr that he does when I stroke his along his back. You know, let me feel the warmth of him and the softness of him, and listen to that purr, and just enjoy that bonding moment. And especially if they've been sitting in the sun, I love to stick my nose in their fur because they smell like warm sand. I don't know why, but they do. So I love the smell of a good cat. And you know, that's it. That's that loving, kind, compassionate thing that you can do for yourself. So, all right. I know going to the dentist doesn't sound loving, kind, and compassionate, but it is. All right. So that's it. I also, as I always do, encourage you to do something to engage your mind and your body, to, drink plenty of water. It is really hot out there, so drink plenty of water. I'm going to go finish my mineral water here in a minute. Get that early in your day bright light. And, as always, open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you, you do live in heaven right here, right now. It's all around us, all the time. Because it's a state of mind. Literally a state of mind. That's the point of spiritual practice, to go to that heaven consciousness and bring it back into the material experience with us. And we can do it in the material world by listening to Emma and looking for the good and praising it. All right. And my good is sitting right next to me in the form of this beautiful cat named Foster. So, all right. That's what I know. Catch us on the social medias. We are Creative Life Spiritual Center and Creative Life Spark. Our email, constant contact, is info@creativelife.org. The website is creativelife.org. So that's all of how to get in touch with us. And if you catch me on the social media, I am the Running Rev Ryan when I'm not acting as Creative Life Spiritual Center. So we are available to you. We have YouTube channels. It's all good. There's a lot of content out there. And I'm being distracted by the cat, so I need to stop. So have a great day, an amazing day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a heavenly day, a magical day, an enchanted day, an awesome day, a catter day, and a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day, because you are enough, just as you are. I will say it every time. You are a beloved child of God in whom God is well pleased, always and forever. Please remember that. It is a state of grace. And it is because we all share the same great oversoul that we live in that state of grace. So, remember who you are. Know who you are. Realize who you are. And accept who you are. And accept that God spirit power flows through you. And you can use it to create heaven on earth. So, take care of yourself. Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. I will be back with you around 9 a.m. tomorrow. I'm going to break with tradition, not take Sunday off, and go to the gym because we missed our gym appointment on Wednesday. And with the storm Wednesday night, we couldn't do it. So, be well, be loved, know who you are, and I will see you next time.